Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Major Static from Static Records. So today, guys, I'm gonna be walking you through this tutorial on how to mix the low end, in particular the kick and the 808. So I think I've already created like a pattern over here. I'll just play it for you guys. You can just hear that. Just like that. So let me just I'll just put an 808 and the kick so that we can demonstrate this thing nicely. Nothing too complicated, but I just want to drive the point. And if it's your first time here, guys, kindly subscribe to the channel. So I'm gonna pick like an 808 from one of my drum kits, this 21 Savage Metro Boomin drum kit. I'll leave the link to that as well in the description box below. You can check that out. So let's just pick an 808. I'll just pick the first one. And then let's get a kick. I'll just pick the first one as well. And then let's get a clap. Okay. So firstly, for your 808, you have to make sure that it's in tune. So all you need to do to make sure it's in key, right click on this, edit in audio editor. And then you can right click here, go to regions, detect pitch regions. So you can see first half is D sharp. So I'll just put D sharp. Okay. So you go right there and then just put it on D sharp right here. And you also have to right click, because if you left click, this is what happens. And then you won't hear the 808. So if this happens to you, just simply hit that reset button and then right click on the right note. Okay. So let's get down to it. Okay, nothing complicated. Let me just put the clap on every. Yep. Okay, and then let me just put the kick so that we can dive right straight into the mixing part. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this repeat for the second part as well. So just copy that over there. Okay, nice and easy. So the first thing that you have to do is just send all of these to the mixer channel. Okay, so I'll start with the 808. I'll just route that over there. Then I'll give it some space and I'll explain why in a bit. And then we'll put the kick, since pretty much that's what we're working on in this tutorial. Okay. So there's the 808 and the kick. So firstly, guys, before we get into this, I really suggest you really have to use your ears. I know many people don't like hearing that. They just want to know, hey, just throw a compressor on there or some secret sauce plug-in and it's all good to go. It can work sometimes, but in the long run, it's not gonna work. So you really have to use your ears, and I'll explain how you should use your ears as well. So from the beginning, you have to take into consideration the drum samples that you're using, because at the end of the day, these kids, most of them, especially nowadays, are already knocking off the bat. Like, they've already been processed a lot. Like, let me just give you an example. Like, if you look at this sample, this 808, look at the waveform. It's pretty much like all the way up. So there's really not that much room to do a lot of stuff. You're gonna end up messing up the mix. That's why I said use your ears. Even if you look at the kick, so you don't really have that much room to work. So it's either you turn it down, but I really suggest just use your ears. So firstly, off the bat, you can tell that the kick and the 808 are clashing. That's what I can hear. So the way I look at it is I try to see what's good with the combination, but also at the same time what is bad. So whatever is bad, I'm going to remove and try to fix it. Whatever is good, if it's good, it's good. Don't try make it over good. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, and then you have to rectify it. So off the bat, like just after listening to this, what I want to do is see exactly fix the first problem, which is the clash. Okay. And okay. So after listening to that again, I feel like I want to make them work together in a way, but at the same time, I want the kick to be mostly the leader, and I want the 808 to be a bit more solid. So first I'm just going to EQ, okay, and I'll throw an EQ on the 808. But also what I wanted to do, like I told you guys why I spread this over here like that, I wanted to spread the 808. So I wanted to split the 808 into two segments, and so that I can keep one in the low end and the other part of the 808 pretty much in the mid highs, and then I can process those in two different ways. So I'm going to call this the 808 low. Call this 808 high. And then I'll call this one the 808 bus. Okay. So now I'm going to split this. Right now, as you can see, it's routed to the master channel. So I'm going to route it to this track only. So right now it's only going to the 808 low, but I also want it to go to the 808 high. And then for the 808 low, I only want that one to go to the 808 bus. Similarly with this 808 high, I want that to only go to the 808 bus. Okay, so we're gonna process the lows separately, the highs separately, and also on the bus together, we're going to affect that in a different manner as well. So on the 808 low, I've just loaded the Pro Q3, and I'm going to mute this high, and I'll mute everything. Let me just mute everything so that we can just hear what's going on. Mute the clap as well. So I've pretty much cut out all the highs and some of the low frequencies, because this side, it'll just make your 808 a bit muddy unless you really know how to control those frequencies and the harmonics and all that. But I just suggest just cut it out about 20 hertz, or you can pull this a bit more if you don't want to cut out too much of the 808s. So I'll start with that. Let me just switch off I'll show you in a bit. Okay, that's the low. And then for the highs, I'll switch off the low and just mute everything and go step by step. So this is the first frequency. And then using the green screamer, it's pretty much like a distortion plug-in, just to get that sound pumping through the iPhone or like some small speakers, and then another EQ. Okay. So I've got a compressor over here as well. You can use any compressor, but I just like this one, the Renaissance compressor. So on the high side, this 808 needs to be controlled a bit more. So I'm just going to turn down the threshold. Just like that. That sounds good to me. So what you're gonna need to do is balance out the lows and the highs. And mind you guys, I'm mixing this in my headphones, not the best environment, so gotta bear with me a little bit. I prefer mixing on my studio monitors, but I have to mix in my headphones for the purpose of this tutorial. So to balance this out nicely, I would suggest, if you're in FL Studio, just hit that and turn this thing to mono. If you're not in FL Studio, probably you can have like a plugin that just folds everything to mono. But yeah, pretty much that's what that is doing. And then you can balance it out whilst it's in mono. Okay, that sounds okay to me. And you can just bring that in accordance to taste, the way that you're hearing it and you're feeling it. But to me, that sounds okay. So next, we're going to introduce the kick. Okay. Okay. So now what I want to do, I feel like either using a dynamic EQ or probably using like a compressor and then do some sidechain compression. But I'm going to do both. Then you guys can let me know which one sounds better, or so that you guys can just know the two techniques as well and decide better which one works best in whatever scenario that you're doing. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load an EQ, okay, on the 808 bus, and also one EQ on the kick, okay. And then before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know that this technique of splitting up the 808 that I've showed you guys over here, you can do that with the kick as well. If you're looking for a particular sound, a more controlled sound, you can do that with the kick as well. And yeah, pretty much. But right now, for this purpose, the way I'm hearing the sounds, I don't think it's necessarily needed. So yeah, so that's another thing. That's why I'm saying use your ears, so that you don't end up doing, pretty much anything that you've learned on each and every track. So yeah, pretty much. So what I want to do is just hear, or you can also see where the kick is the most prominent. So it's pretty much like around here. Which is about 48 hertz. Okay. So we're going to go to the 808 and find the same frequency. I'm just going to write it here, 48 hertz. Narrow the band just a little bit and bring it down. Okay. So as you guys can see, even on the spectrum over here, the 808, when it's hitting some certain notes, it's going also prominent in the same area where the kick is also like trying to shine. So what we're trying to do right now is just carve out on the 808, and whenever it hits that particular spot, we draw down the energy a bit. Okay, and we can go just a little bit further and just hit this band over here and just pull it down. Okay. So if you can hear, the 808 is ducking a bit in that area, and the kick is a bit more prominent and it's sticking out more, which is pretty much what I was looking to do, because I wanted the kick to stand out and to sound better together with the 808. So you can either do that, or you can, if it's too much, you can do that and also do sidechain compression, or you can just maybe use the EQ or just the sidechain compression. So for the sidechain compression, you need to load a compressor with sidechain capabilities. I like using the Fab Filter Pro MB. So if you guys remember, it was around 48 hertz. That's where we're trying to control. Okay. Let me just narrow the band a bit. Go to 48 hertz. Okay. So you will have to send the kick to the 808 because pretty much we're trying to get the compressor to react to the kick. So in FL Studio, you just click right here first, like that. But you can turn this all the way down, okay? And then you go to the 808, click this button right here, and then go here, and then go to processing, and then right here on stereo sidechain, you right click on it, sidechain, up like that. Then we go back, click experts, and then click that ext. Okay, so every time the kick hits at the same spot where the 808 is hitting, it's going to duck or pretty much compress or bring down the 808 a bit. So you can adjust the attack and the release so that when the kick hits, the compressor reacts immediately. But for hip hop or trap, I don't think like a really fast attack is good. It's usually better in different genres like EDM or dance music, where the sidechain in the kick and bass. So right now, at that attack, to me, it's adjusted a bit, we see. Okay, that attack is good for me. And the release, let's adjust the release a bit. Okay, that's good for me. Yeah, so personally, I like it the way it's sounding together with the Pro Q, but let's remove that and see and hear what it sounds like with just the sidechain compression. Even with just the sidechain compression, it's also doing the job. Okay, with the Pro Q3, the kick is standing out, is a bit prominent, a bit more. So I think the way that I'm hearing it, I prefer it without the Pro Q3. So I'll leave it with just the multiband compressor, the sidechain compression. So right now, I like the way it's sounding. But yeah, personally, I like the way it's sounding. And if anything, I would only adjust on this. Maybe if I have like other sounds in comparison, because like right now we're just dealing with the kick and the 808. But now maybe if you have like some other percussions in the beat, some hi-hats, like numerous other sounds, I would probably send the kick together with the other percussions to like a drum bus, where I can process those like together if I'm trying to get like a particular type of sound. But for the purpose of this video, I like the way it's sounding. If anything, maybe I would have to go back and forth, just trying to balance out the kick and the 808. to a point where I feel like it's sounding good. But yeah, pretty much that's what I wanted to show you guys. And yeah, pretty much probably make a tutorial about the drum bus in the near future. You guys can let me know if you want to see that, and yeah, I'll definitely do it. So give the video a thumbs up if you like the content, if you learned something new. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, man, I drop content 4 times a week, so definitely hit that notification bell to get notified every time I make an upload. So yeah, guys, till next time.